Yo, what up, guys? It's Robbie back with another video. Today, we're going to be talking about would the Lakers much rather play the Houston Rockets or the Minnesota Timberwolves in the 2026 NBA playoffs. So, here's some things that I want to get into. Since the Lakers are missing their primary engine, Luka, and their secondary playmaker, Austin, the goal isn't just about who is worse, meaning are the Rockets worse, are the Timberwolves worse. We need we need to play the team that is going to allow us to buy us some time for Luka to come back. So that's more on the Lakers to try to extend the series so that our stars could come back. But yeah, the Lakers, they're going to have to play really hard, whether it's Houston or Minnesota. They're going to have to try really hard because these teams don't play. I know that the Lakers have a good record against these teams, well, especially the Timberwolves, but they're gonna have to play 100% effort if they're gonna want to win a playoff game without Luka and Austin. LeBron's gonna have to turn into 2018 Cleveland Cavaliers LeBron if they're gonna have a chance to win a playoff series. In my opinion, I would much rather the Lakers play the Minnesota Timberwolves over the Houston Rockets. Here's why. The 3-0 psychological advantage. So, if you guys didn't know, the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Timberwolves 3 times this season. They played 3 times and the Lakers won all 3 times. Now I know they don't have Luka and Austin right now, but I believe it'll give you more confidence if you've beaten a team 3 times to go into the playoffs and say, you know what, we've beaten them before. Even when Austin and Luka are out, we have players that have done good things against this team. So I know the playoffs are different, but it's a psychological advantage. This psychological advantage creates pressure on Minnesota to prove that they aren't frauds, while the Rockets would feel like predators smelling blood. The Rockets, okay, I know Luka played insane against the Rockets last time, but we have to consider that the Rockets have very athletic players. Players like Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr. These players, they're athletic, they're tall, they're big. Sengun, he plays big. Kevin Durant's tall. Without Luka or Austin, that would be very difficult. I would much rather play the Timberwolves. I'm not trying to dodge any. I don't want the Lakers to try to dodge any smoke against any team. If you're gonna play the Wolves, play the Wolves. You're gonna play the Rockets, play the Rockets. They're gonna play whoever they get. But I'm just saying my opinion. I much them rather play the Wolves. So yeah. The Ant-Man tunnel vision. Minnesota's offensive is predictable. It lives and dies with Anthony Edwards. The Lakers can use Marcus Smart to face guard him and force Rudy Gobert or Julius Randle to beat them off the dribble. A gamble any coach would take over trying to stop a diverse Rockets offense led by Kevin Durant. So, yeah, I would much rather try to stop Anthony Edwards than Kevin Durant, but I know it's kind of weird to say that since the Lakers lost against Anthony Edwards last year, but Anthony Edwards did have a few rough games against the Lakers last year's playoffs. He didn't play all that well. They won. I'll give them props. I'll give them credits. They won. But Anthony Edwards didn't play that well against the Wolves. I remember other players having bigger games. Maybe I don't remember right, but I do remember that this season, the last time the Lakers and Wolves played, Anthony Edwards had a horrible game, very inefficient. But that's also due to the Laker defense. I'm not trying to take away anything from Anthony Edwards. He's an all NBA player. He's a superstar, young superstar. He's very good. But what I'm trying to say is the Lakers have done a very good job of containing him this season. A slower pace of play. The Rockets are young, athletic, and they want to run. A short-handed Lakers squad led by an older LeBron James cannot survive a track meet. The Wolves play a much slower half-court game that allows the Lakers to set their defense and keep the score in the 90s or low hundreds. So, just to rehash in case you didn't really understand, the Houston Rockets, they have an athletic team. The Wolves do have some athletes, but we can't ask a 41-year-old LeBron James to be running up and down the court against the Houston Rockets while carrying the offensive burden without Austin and Luka. That's gonna be very difficult if they have to play Houston because they have they're athletic. They like to run. So it's better to play a Minnesota team that plays a little slower. Okay, Anthony Edwards is very athletic, but players like Julius Randle, Rudy Gobert, Nas Reed, they're athletic players, but they're more like they like to attack the paint. They go off the dribble. So I would much rather play that style in the first round without Austin Reeves and Luka Doncic. The Gobert math works in LA's favor. Defensively, Rudy Gobert is a wall, but offensively, he doesn't require a double team. This lets players like DeAndre Ayton stay parked in the paint to protect the rim, effectively neutralizing Minnesota's interior scoring while the Lakers wait for their stars to return. So that's another factor. Rudy Gobert, he doesn't really need a double. He's not okay. Can he dunk? Yeah, but besides dunking, what can Rudy Gobert really do? I mean, if you seal him off or you don't let him get the ball, there's not much Rudy Gobert can do offensively to hurt you. So I would much rather play a center like Rudy Gobert. I much rather DeAndre Ayton play a center like Rudy Gobert that's not very scary offensively than Alfred Sengun. Sengun, he's very tough. He plays a very ugly style of basketball. Alfred Sengun from the Rockets plays like a very ugly basketball, but that doesn't mean he plays bad. He's good. He scores. He's an all-star for a reason, but it's a very rough style of play that I don't know if DeAndre Ayton's ready for that, but I'm sure he'll be able to handle it. Houston's nuclear potential. The Rockets have elite shot makers like KD and Reed Shepherd and Amen Thompson who can break a game open regardless of how well you defend. The Lakers lack the scoring punch to keep up with Houston. Heat check without Luka's 30-plus points. So, Sengun is going to be an offensive weapon. Same with, obviously, Kevin Durant, one of the all-time greatest scorers. And that guy, Reed Shepherd, he could light it up. I don't know if he's ever had like a crazy playoff game, but I know he's a shooter and he could do some damage. So we have to watch out for players like that too. They have other players. Amen Thompson's uber athletic. He could just go down the lane and dunk. So another reason why I would much rather play the Wolves. Clutch time stagnation. The 2026 Wolves have struggled with late game execution and turnovers. Without Luka and Reeves, the Lakers' best chance is to keep the game close and hope Minnesota beats themselves in the final 2 minutes. A much safer bet than hoping KD missing a game winner. So, in a late game situation, would you much rather go against Anthony Edwards in the clutch or KD? Think about this. I'm not saying Anthony Edwards is not a clutch player. He's really good. I'm sure he's had some clutch shots, but based on the stats, he hasn't really. How do I say this? Anthony Edwards is not a proven clutch player. He's very good, but a lot of the stats that he has indicate that he isn't as efficient in the clutch compared to Kevin Durant, which is very scary because in a late game situation, even at Kevin Durant's age, he could still score a bomb on you, and that would be very scary. So yeah, guys, those are my reasons for why I picked the Wolves. It's not really, if we play the Rockets, we play the Rockets. I'm not totally worried. They're kind of the same. They just beat you in different ways. But yeah, guys, I much rather the Lakers play the Wolves than the Rockets. Let me know in the comments, would you much rather play the Houston Rockets or the Minnesota Timberwolves? Catch you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Apparently 86% of my viewers aren't subscribed, so really appreciate it. And see you guys in the next one.